Welcome to mymaths.in. Today we are going to learn the topic representation of points and quadrants in the chapter coordinate geometry. Now let us take the lines. In the coordinate geometry we have x-axis and y-axis. So let us draw the x-axis here. X-axis line is this and y-axis line is perpendicular to it, so it is, we'll draw one more perpendicular line, that is y-axis. So now this is our x-axis, x dash, and y-axis is y dash, and O is the origin. Now let us so now this is our first quadrant and we call this as second quadrant, and this part we call it as third quadrant, and this part we call it as fourth quadrant. So quadrant means four parts. Quadra means four. So the whole system is divided into four parts. Here the representation is given as first part, second part, third part, and fourth part. So from origin, if we move on to the right hand side, we observe that it is positive side of the x-axis, and from origin if we move upwards, it is positive side of y-axis. And if we move to the left hand side, it is negative of x-axis, and downwards it is negative of y-axis. So let us take the coordinates as, let us take in the first quadrant, we observe that if at all we are taking any point, we observe that the first part is first ordinate represent the x-axis, and on the positive side of x-axis, so it is positive, and on y-axis also it is positive, so it is plus and plus. In the second quadrant we observe that x is negative, so if at all we are taking any point, the first point represents x, so it is negative, and the second point represents y, but y is positive here, so it is negative and positive. So if we observe in the third quadrant, we have both are negatives. See, if we observe x-axis, it is going left side to the origin, and y-axis it is downside. So both x-axis and y-axis it is negative. So whenever we represent any point with both negatives, that should be in the third quadrant. Similarly, in fourth quadrant, we observe that x is positive, but y is negative. So this is about the quadrants and the signs of the points in different quadrants. Now let us take any point and see that which quadrant it is in. So let us take the point 2, 3. So, and let us take another point -2, -5. So we observe here the 2, 3 both are positive here. The both points are positives. So it is in the, this point is in first quadrant, because here we observe that both the points are positive. And when we are taking the example of -2, -5, here we observe that both are negative. When both are negatives, that is in the third quadrant both are negatives. So this represents, this point will be in the third quadrant. So similarly, any points are there, based on the signs of the points we can easily tell which quadrant it lies in. So this is all about the representation of points and quadrants. Thank you.